You're now listening to the Sneaker Box.
Oh shit alert, Louis clothes, call it when existence, Louboutins and Gucci shows. Well, I guess that goes my Louis shows. More
Yo, what's up? Detroit is definitely in the building via your headphones, stereo, and speakers. Of course, this is your man, the African Caesar. This is the Sneaker Box Show. And it's just me and Geeno this time once again.
Yo.
The contrarian of the show, officially.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you might be more contrarian than I am.
Nah, I'm just an asshole.
Okay.
That's the difference.
That's fair.
Oh, no, we aren't. We're dicks. We're reckless, arrogant, stupid dicks.
But I knew it within reason, though.
I get a more technical name for mine.
What's the more technical name for
Contrarian.
it? Oh, okay.
I mean, I get the more...
It sounds better.
I get the Merriam-Webster's dictionary version of, I guess, being a hater.
Yeah, I mean, it looks better in a resume.
That it does.
It does.
Let's see if it can get me someplace.
We'll see. I mean, shit, the way we about to start talking about some of these shoes, it ain't gonna be for a shoe company. Anyway, let's get to our social medias. You can follow us on X at TSB_show. You can follow us on Instagram at @TheSneakerBox_show. You can follow us on Facebook by simply looking up the Sneaker Box Show page. And I should have shouted the TikTok then. I hate TikTok. It's like you kind of have to.
You got to shout it out too.
Yeah. So TikTok, I don't even know what the name is. I want to say it's TSB Show on TikTok. It's gonna be on the screen. Just look at the screen. And
it'll be on the screen, and it'll be in the
look right here, and it's,
yeah. Look wherever he pointed to.
Yeah. Make sure to check in with your sneaker comments and questions by leaving us a message on our voicemail line at 313-444-8585. We'll pick out the best messages and we'll respond to them on the next show. I was gonna say something about the voicemail hotline because I'm still trying to figure out how to do the audio thing. I might just have to layer it. But oh yeah, and by the way, we are recording at the Detroit Podcast Club. Shout out to our guy. Oh, I'm pointing. I'm looking at you pointing like where are you pointing at?
So they can see it. You know what I'm saying? Like they pay attention. People.
Shout out to our guy Bob. He's currently fixing his new chair right now. It's hilarious.
If you guys hear grunt noises in the background.
Yes. Check out our OnlyFans.
What?
To see what that grunt noise is. That's so silly. All right, let's get to our 5-5 sneaker releases from the previous week. Starting at number 5, we have the Adidas AE1 Champagne. It's crazy that it was number 1 on our last show. I should also mention too that we missed the show due to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think everybody kind of figured. Yeah. So we're kind of like catching up over the last 2 weeks. So number 5, we have the Adidas AE1 Champagne. Cool enough shoe. But it's funny because it was number 1 on the last show, but that just proves how slow that week was as compared to this week.
Well, I mean, I think this week coming up with All-Star game and it's a lot of releases coming up.
A lot. Number 4, I think this is the shoe you was complaining about. The Nike Kobe 6 Pro Trail All-Star.
So mad about that one.
Mm-hmm. And you know what's crazy about that? Like, because I remember when we saw it last year. It's crazy when you see a shoe at campus, not knowing when it's gonna come out or if it's gonna come out, and then it finally comes out. And it's like there's a part of me that's like, damn, I could have like posted this early,
right?
Well,
I'm also thinking, who could I have paid off, on campus to be able to get me a pair? Because the other part is, and this is why I hate it, but I love it at the same time. Like the whole, what we have to do to get sneaker releases.
Yeah,
I was on sneakers at right on time. Like I was early, everything ready to go, submit, size, payment, everything ready.
Yeah,
still missed out.
I don't know what went into that process. I met the criteria to be selected, but I wasn't.
It sucks like that. I don't know why I made me think of it. They got like a new golden ticket thing now for sneakers.
A new go. Well, yeah, because what is it? Essentially, if you have
it guarantees
so many
you. Yeah.
if you have so many L's, I think they'll get you kind of.
Oh, that's what it is.
I feel like there has to be some form of an algorithm for it, right?
I don't know what the parameters are for it, but I kind of sort of saw something on social media when I tried to like go back to it in my news feed updated, and I ain't feel like digging no more. I didn't care anymore. I just
that shit was fire though.
The Kobe's?
Yes.
I don't know. It was too much. It was
it's too basic for you.
It kind of was. I needed more color in there. Not to say I don't like all white shoes, like all white Air Force Ones, something like that. Like I like it. That wasn't really. That was like what a cream,
like almost like an eggshell, almost, yeah.
And it wasn't doing it for me. But it is what it is. Number 3, we had the Nike LeBron 22 Black Label. This is probably my favorite shoe of the weekend, honestly.
Really,
personally. See,
really?
See y'all. See,
no, I'm not even saying it because of that. I don't like any of the shoes in the Black Label collection.
Really?
Don't. I mean, hot take for me, Adidas All-Star lineup is 10 times better than Nike's.
That is a hot take.
Like all of their releases, in my opinion, I think the Lillard is fire. The Harden is fire.
Yeah.
The new Spider Mitchell, that's fire.
I got to see that again because I can vaguely picture it in my mind.
And the only thing I don't like about it is I feel like all of the Adidas basketball shoes now have like the same shape.
Yeah, they kind of have this like shoe inside of a sleeve look,
right? And
it's starting to bother me because it's like they're kind of like, okay, this works, and now they're just overdoing it across everybody.
Yeah, but I feel like it's the same thing we see with Nike. With every basketball shoe now, it looks like
a Kobe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
no, true enough. I mean, yeah.
So yeah, I don't like any of the Black Label.
I like the 22s. I like because I like the LeBron 22. I don't think some of the colorways have done it justice. I think that's been an issue with the LeBron line. Period. I think even with the last signature shoe, the 21s, only the colorways did that shoe any justice.
The one thing I feel like I wish that they would do, is I like what they did with the NXT generations. Mm-hmm. Like I like that. Like,
I like those.
I like all of those, and I feel like you could probably almost just maybe slow down, maybe with the signature line for a little bit.
Well, they are.
Well, a lot of bit.
Yeah,
and really like pump those out because to me those look better.
Well, the rumor is they're gonna stop at the 23.
Yeah, but he's also still playing basketball. So you really think?
I wonder if there's a correlation. I wonder if he like clued them in to like, okay, like next year is gonna be my last year.
I mean,
so
well, he's got a lifetime. He got a lifetime deal. So
yeah, but I mean, are they going to continue making signature models, or are they just going to stop with the 23 and they just?
I wonder, does he own his name?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, no, I'm just saying because, like. If Jordan call it, what was that? When did Jordan like finally? What is that like? When?
What?
When they started the Jordan line, wasn't it something like Jordan didn't have like full ownership, or he didn't own?
It was something name or on the Air Jordan name?
I think it was the Air Jordan name.
That's a good question, actually. Nike probably owns Air Jordan. Or there might be some mutual ownership to it.
Okay. Well, because that's what I'm thinking.
Because
that's what I'm thinking for LeBron would be. Well, if you don't like,
but like Air Jordan is different. Like there's so Michael Jordan, Air Jordan, like
right.
You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
There's no Air LeBron. It's just LeBron. So I don't know if they will own that.
No, but I mean the shoes are just called LeBron.
Yeah. So I don't know if they would have any ownership necessarily of his name. Logos probably.
Logos for sure. I could definitely see that. Yeah. Like that LBJ 23 King logo. I'm pretty sure they own the fuck out of that.
So who knows?
I don't know. We'll see.
Number 2, and I'm gonna talk about this shoe later. The Air Jordan Retro 5 Reimagined Black Metallic. I passed on those.
Yeah, so did I.
Because I was kind of like, at first I was gonna get them, and then I was like, my 2016, was it 2016 when they dropped? Whatever year that was. I pulled them out just to kind of like look in comparison, and it was like there wasn't enough there for me to like feel like I needed those. Like the 3M wasn't moving me like that.
Well, plus I just feel like the Reimagined line, overall is a disappointment.
I would agree. It doesn't feel like there's much imagination when you like. If all you're gonna do is just add 3M here or just make a shoe look older, like that's not. I don't know. There's something.
Well,
when you say reimagine, I think of, like, for example, right? The 13s.
Okay.
Right. They came out with Tinker's original sketch, right? Like if they said reimagine, like, okay, like what if we drop Tinker's original sketch? That to me is more of a reimagine. I feel
like that's what it was supposed to be, though.
Yeah.
Like if I remember correctly, well, no, it was the what was that, like 3 years ago? 3 years ago, they had like the Tinker line where it was like everything of like I think it was something like the
original threes.
Yeah,
with the swoosh on there.
Exactly. It was stuff like that they were putting out. I just feel like, reimagine line is like, what are we reimagining?
Yeah, like if you're just gonna, that was the thing that kind of drove me nuts last year with the black and red fours.
Yes, that was exactly what I was gonna say. Like, okay, you want to reimagine it, you made it leather. Okay, big deal.
That's not like, it's not much of imagination.
You didn't change anything. If anything, I could say
Nubuck the leather. I mean,
if anything, I could say like you took the cheaper route, because I'm pretty sure sourcing leather is a lot cheaper than sourcing Nubuck.
I mean, they both synthetic, so I don't know how much cheaper it would be. It didn't move. I didn't move me with the fours. It didn't move me with the fives.
You know what it reminds me of?
What?
Remember Remastered line?
Oh yeah, that was. We're gonna give you better quality and then charge you for more, even though we said we charged you more for the shoes that we gave you because we gave that quote unquote better quality. But turns out we didn't.
Didn't the remaster line only last for like, it was like half the year?
It didn't even last for that. It lasted for like 2 releases, and they're like, all right, fuck it. I'm
surprised that's number 2 on the list. I'm surprised that's on the list.
Honest, I mean, it's not a bad shoe. Like on its face of it, right? It's a Black Metallic 5. Dope shoe. I mean, no matter what iteration it is, it's a dope shoe. It's just, if I have a pair that's still in great condition, like the bottom still looks iced out. I've worn it only like a handful of times. Like, I have to justify in my own head, why am I buying this for the 3M?
Fair.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just.
Plus, like with what they've done with the ice, with the soles now, they last a lot longer. Yeah. Anyway,
so that's what I'm like. So like, if it was like piss yellow, and I ain't feel like going through the process of having them re-iced or whatever. Yeah, okay, maybe, but you're not just gonna put 3M on there. Think I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like with fives though, I think with this year, there's too much hype and anticipation for the grapes, to where it's like,
I don't even, there's part of me that almost is like, I don't even know if I want to deal with it. It's just seeing the chaos of that shoe, which we'll get into later. Like, it is a part of me that's just like, I don't have the bandwidth to deal with. Like, if I don't get on my sneakers app, because I'm not paying resale. Let me not say I'm not gonna pay resale. There's a limit to resale.
Oh no, 100%.
And so it's just, I don't know. I just feel like the whole Band 1 rollout has left a bad taste in my mouth with Jordan Brand, to the point where I'm like, I'm over it. That's honestly as I say that, number 1, the Air Jordan Retro 1 High 85 black and red. I mean, it's not a bad shoe. It's just the way they rolled it out was fucked up.
I kind of figured you was gonna, be spiteful and not have it on the list.
Well, no, I should have been and I could have been. But, it is a dope shoe. Once again, minus the bullshit marketing that they did and the bullshit storytelling that they did. Of
course.
Once again, just looking at the shoe for what it is. It's the black and red Air Jordan 1.
It's probably the most iconic sneaker.
Yeah.
At this point now, I'd probably say would be the black and red Jordan 1.
So I mean, I couldn't not put it on the list. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, but that's why I'm being honest when I say.
Yeah. No, I mean, but again, going back to it, we talked about it past couple of weeks now. With the rollout, it just
that's what I'm saying. The rollout kind of just left a bitter taste in my mouth.
That's the pause of the day so far.
I've never seen a situation of you almost couldn't make enough of them if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And even with charging, that high of a price,
they still would have sold out
easily.
Yeah,
easily.
It's just, they are trying so hard to be, because I don't want to say relevant, because I don't think they ever lost relevancy, but they did lose a little bit of swag, a little bit. How to quantify that, I don't know, but just a little bit. And it's annoying to me to see them be so desperate to gain that little bit back.
Right.
And, to the point where they're like, oh, we got to do something. It's like they become so, like we talked about last few shows, they become so reactionary. And instead of just being like, hey, look, there's ups and downs, there's ebb and flows to all this shit. We've been around for 40 years.
Yeah.
We've seen this before. Nope. Let's just hit the panic button and just, everything. We're only making 3 pairs of everything. And it's like,
yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
You know what I told somebody? Well, I was talking to Sneaker Fetish, I believe, the other day. And I was just like, he said something that somebody had posted. And it was something similar to what I said, where they were basically going after the average consumer or hype beast at the expense of the core audience.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and they're losing both in the process. And it's like,
well, here's what I hate about it when I can say, did they really? Because all of the pictures we saw of all of the lines for those Reimagined 5s.
Yeah.
And how we feel about that shoe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're just like, it's not that special.
Yeah.
Why were people lined up for that shoe? Like, that's what I'm saying is like, did doing this, I guess playing devil's advocate against myself, did doing this type of hype that they did, or create this notion of hype that they did for the 85 one, did it then make people want to double back and become interested in the brand again, to where now it's almost like, well, hey, I have to get up and get out there to try and get a pair, because I don't know if the next shoe is going to be limited.
Well, I mean, it didn't necessarily translate the other day to the Black Toes. I mean, they eventually, I think, ended up selling through eventually, but they were there.
But that's different. To me, that was a mistake. I would have never released both of those shoes back
to back like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done. I would have let it. You released one at the beginning of the month, and you released the other one at the end of the month.
I would have reversed the numbers as far as that's the shoe you should have made scarce.
Yes,
because that shoe only really appealed to the nerds. Like, oh, look, this is the one shoe he had in the promo.
And that one Reimagined too.
You know what? By their standards, yes.
I think it is. I think it is considered the Reimagined Jordan 1.
I think it might be. Yeah, but it's like, once again, that doesn't the story behind that shoe doesn't, like, the average person doesn't give a fuck about that. And to be honest, I think most average people were like, oh, and they got the Wings logo. If it doesn't, like, because once again, I was having this conversation with Sneaker Fetish, and he was saying, like, why, people didn't have this response to the Tinker 3s and those other stuff. I was like, because they're adding something. Like, they didn't take anything away from the Tinker 3s. They added the swoosh. They didn't remove the Jumpman logo and put Nike on the tongue. Like, the Jumpman logo was still there. They just added the swoosh. Here, you're taking something away and then replacing it with something, to be quite honest, less impressive. Yeah. And I get it. There's a story behind it. I kind of feel like now y'all kind of going under the seat cushions looking for a story. Like,
well, like with these lucky short 3s.
Yeah. It's just like, okay, that's the story. Okay. Wow. It's just like I'm not impressed, It's so, but I think those are the shoes they should have made scarce. Make 10,000 pairs of those. And then, because everybody loves the banned ones, black and red ones. They're not banned. They weren't banned. But, yeah. So,
no, I agree. And I feel like, with all of the advertising that they did for the banned ones, for these Chicago ones, you could have just put the picture, the promo picture of him, with the shoes on his shoulder,
Yeah.
No
That's
words.
the story you should have put, because that's the story you should have pushed, because it does play into the whole band story, because you had to make that colorway.
Yes.
To be more in line with the uniform rules back then because of the banned airship. So you could have still played off that whole band thing.
Well, and the other thing I think would have been cool too is because you didn't, there's no Wings logo. So it's like you could have really delved back into history and said, hey, like,
that's a story worth telling.
Before any of the logos existed, this was how we originally presented this shoe.
Yeah. Like playing off of that band storyline and how that created this colorway.
Yes.
More interesting than, hey, remember that one photo he took in a promo? It's like, that's it. Okay,
yeah.
Whew, boy, y'all are...
I mean, they honestly should have brought back the apparel. Should have had the exact fit. I bet you Jumpman got that fit somewhere in the basement.
You know he does. You know he does. He's probably wearing it right now as we speak. Ugliest release of the week. Oh, boy. Ooh.
Yeah, take your pick.
I'm kind of mad at this because I actually like the Roshis. All right, and I just kind of feel like for y'all to bring back the Roshis and do this to it, just kind of the fuck, man. The Waste Management Phoenix Open Special Edition Nike Roshi Golf 2 Prickly Pear. Yeah.
I mean, well, hey, folks, at least there's a golf shoe that has made any sort of list here. I'm excited about that because I just recently got into playing golf last year. So
yeah. Oh, my Air Maxes that I found at the Nike.
Oh, those were golf shoes.
Yeah, they were golf shoes.
Well, you see now they got
uncomfortable as fuck though. But
they got the 14s. They got last shot 14s and oxidized greens coming out as golf shoes.
The comfort is consistent with the ones that I have, I'm good.
See, I got the when we were at the outlet.
They look dope though.
I bought the Pegasus golf shoes. Comfortable.
Are they?
Super comfortable.
Damn. Okay.
Like super comfortable.
I'm kind of mad about that.
Yeah.
Because them Air Maxes was nice. And I got so lucky too because I maybe I should put a picture up of it. I remember I was looking because like there wasn't too much in my size, worth talking about. I did get those shocks though. Those shocks were dope. And I remember one of the employees was like, "Did you check the corner?" And I'm like, "No." I'll go in the corner. And like on the bottom shelf, like tucked away, I could see the glimmer of the swoosh.
Yeah.
And it caught my eye, and I looked, and I was like, "Oh yeah, bought."
Yeah, no, those
can't go wrong. At the time, I was like, "You can't go wrong with Air Maxes."
No, those are sweet. You probably just got to break them in. It's a golf shoe, right?
It feels like it's gonna be a lot of breaking in.
You gotta walk. You gotta walk up and down the course. When we get you out there,
Honestly, I've never went golfing. Putt. That's me all day.
Son of a bitch, Paul, why didn't you just go home? That's your home! Are you too good for your home? Answer me! Suck my white ass, Paul!
Golfing, I don't know if... I've never done it, so I don't know if I would be bored to tears, but watching it...
Oh, you wouldn't be bored, trust me, because it is not what you think.
Okay.
It's a lot of drinking.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh,
sign me up then. Like, I feel like I've been missing out.
That's how I got into it. So we had a golf outing for work.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to go. And people were like, this one group, they were like, Eugene, you should join us. Join us. I'm like, all right, like, fine, I'll join.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, you'll have fun. Like, bring your cigars, bring a bottle.
You smoke cigars?
Yeah.
What? Okay.
So,
I feel like I'm learning more about you on the show.
So
in real life.
Well, yeah. So I'm out there. So I had one of my friends. He gave me some old clubs that he had. So I got those. So I had clubs now.
Okay.
And we were out there, and it was just literally just drinking, talking shit, drinking, smoking cigars, and yeah, it was fun.
That sounds like a barbecue more than it sounds like golfing.
It's one of those things where here's what I equate it to.
Yeah.
You know how, like, for us is, I don't know if it's the same for everybody, but as black guys, we can go to the barbershop and just go in there and talk shit, hang out, and just be there for hours.
Yeah.
That's... I just love how Bob's shaking his head. Yeah, doesn't know anything about that. But I feel like that's what the golf course is like. You just hanging out for hours.
Well, the barbershop he goes to, the butler brings his caviar.
Make old fashions at mine.
Yeah, see? Yeah, see? Yeah. Hey, I'm bored. I need to find Hey, I need to know where you going there, because
Man.
yeah, I want to go there. Get some old fashions at the Oh, yeah, I'm not wanted.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, let me stick to ham
I was
traffic.
gonna say. Let's see, community forum. All right, look. So I mentioned the Black Metallic Fives, and we was talking about the shoe, but the release. I had secondhand embarrassment from watching that.
Really?
Because, and maybe because I'm older, right? I have a different take on it, and just watching people lose their fucking minds to the point where like they're fighting and they're just acting the way they're acting. Yeah, I was not happy to see that, because there's not a shoe. Even when I was younger, there was never a shoe that I wanted to fight over. It's like I feel the same way about shoes as I do girls. Like I'm not fighting over it.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's or anything beyond that, right? Like, as I think there were instances of people doing acts of violence, and I just thought, when a shoe becomes worth more than somebody's life, I don't like when we get to that place. But especially us as a people, because we're the main ones doing it.
Why this shoe? Like,
no, I understand. Like,
that's where I'm so lost at. Like, this isn't a shoe. Like, if you would have told me that this was a Jordan 11, I would have understood.
Yeah.
If you would have told me that this was a Jordan 3, a Jordan 8, probably would have got it. If it was a cool gray 11 or 9. But a reimagined black metallic Jordan 5.
But see, here's the thing. This is what I think. I think one was just, I'm going to stop saying reimagined because it was nothing.
No, you got to call it what it is.
Nothing imagined.
It's got white laces.
Oh, yeah, because, you stuck with the black ones that come with the other ones, right? The thing is,
they're bridging the gap to society.
I think the thing was they were so close to the OGs to the point where, like, minus the 3M, there's like no difference. I think for a lot of people, like, this was their chance to get a pair of like OG Air Jordan 5s, and it speaks to my point about the Band 1s going back. And I hate to keep beating that horse, but when you have certain shoes come inherent with hype, where like there's no marketing campaign necessary. Those fives, I think, would have been hyped and sold out regardless. Yeah. Because those are as close to original Air Jordan 5s, minus the 3M.
Well, you know what? I take
as far as shape.
I don't agree with that.
What?
I don't think if they would have treated that like all of the other releases with the sneakers app and all of the stores doing like a drawing process, I don't think they would have sold out.
I think they would have. Because like I said, I feel like OG form sneakers, Jordans in particular, OG are going to sell.
The only thing that I'll say to that, to combat that, would be, I was looking at a post MJO23 Dan had put up where people were going at him for, because he always has his comparisons of the different years.
Yeah.
People were going at him saying, like, why do you care so much? Like, it was like nonstop. So
why do you care so much about?
Like, why do you care so much about the little details that were missed? Why are you pointing that out? We don't care about stuff like that. We just want the shoe.
Hey, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
And it was one of those things where I looked at it, I was like, well, does it matter? You know what I mean? Like, because you know how, we're into it, right? Yeah. So we want something that's as close to the original as possible. I mean, some more than others.
Yeah.
I know, like, personally for me, like, if it's dope, it's dope. Like, it can be close to the original. It doesn't 100% have to be. But it was just one of those things where I looked at the comments and I was like, well, damn, do people really care? And that's why I'm saying it was about these fives. And that's why, again, I'm like,
they might not care about the details. Like me, you, and Marvin might like nerd out over like the shape and the cut of this and the color of that. And to your point, they might not care about the small details, but as long as it is close to the OG, because there's so much reverence for the OGs.
Fair.
That I think they don't, like you said, like they don't care, okay, whether the toe box is shaped like this or not. Does it have Nike Air in the back? Does it look close to the original or to what they know as the original? Because once again, I had a conversation with somebody, and it was, I think it was pointed out a video that Jock Slade did where he was talking about, you know, like me, you, and other people, like we want like the originals, whereas some of these younger kids, like their entryway into sneakers started in like 2010, 2015. And so those are the OGs to them. And so like the 11s, right? Like they see the high cut. They're like, oh, no, like I want the OGs. Like according to them, the OGs are the 2011s.
Right.
Right. Oof. But it's like, yeah. And it's like, that was like but it's like, they're not, I don't want to say smart enough.
You people are idiots! That's the... What a joke!
They don't understand that at that point in time, Jordan Brand was giving you bullshit, but that's their entryway.
They haven't done their history.
Yeah. But that's the thing, though. It's like,
they don't care about their history.
Hey, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
And that's the thing about this generation that it drives me wild, because it's like, according to them, the world didn't start until they were born. It's like, no, things happened before you were born that led up to when you were born.
Right.
You know, like your grandparents fucking. Like that had to happen for your parents to exist, and then your parents had to fuck for you to exist. So it's like, you know, like you know, I'm just saying, there's a lineage here.
I can't wait for the whatever little video you put in between
Over that.
Yeah, because that.
I'm just saying, it's like, nah, like you didn't just pop up and the world was like, oh, okay, like we just cell phones. That's a thing now because you were born. Like, no, that was the thing. Like we had rotary phones, and then that led to other phones that led to beepers, and then that led to cell phones. Like you, it's like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, but I guess to your point, then I guess that does make sense then, because what, with the fives, it was this pair. You said 2016, and I think before it was 20. Was it 20?
Well, the last OG retro was 2016. If we're talking OG, you gotta go back to like 2000.
That's what that's what I was gonna say. But in between that, there were other black
retros.
metallic fives. Yeah, that
but
came
they weren't
out.
like OG.
Yeah,
you know. So I think like I said, I think they were gonna sell regardless. I just think certain colorways, certain shoes come with hype. Now, speaking of Marvin, I don't understand why people give. I once again, I had this conversation with somebody. I don't get the grief that these motherfuckers get, and I don't understand it, because they're not doing anything malicious. He's going through the comparison. If that bothers you so much, keep him. I would like to think that you got better things to do with your day than complain about something that you're not forced to watch.
I agree.
I just, that if I don't like, now there's times where I'm like, okay, I got to speak on this because I feel like there's a bigger issue at hand. Right. And like, it ain't necessarily that one thing. That one thing is just an example of a bigger issue.
Right.
What's the bigger issue than somebody doing a comparison? Somebody that obviously is a historian in sneakers, right? Pointing out the difference in details between this and that. Why is that a problem?
I mean, to me, I think you should applaud the people that do.
Yeah, but I'm like what's the harm in that? It ain't like he's shitting on it. Like, you know, he's just pointing out the differences. Now, he might give his opinion and say, I like this better, but
he not
once
you.
again.
You
oh, yeah,
I
this is horrible.
Yeah.
I don't get it, man. I just think that people are weird on the internet, and I don't really give it too much credence.
Fair.
But I didn't like the release. I didn't hate the release itself. I didn't like people reacting or acting the way they acted in the release. I'm not about to tear up no store. I'm not about to fight nobody. I'm not about to do anything beyond that over a pair of fucking shoes. And it was irritating me too, because people are like reposting like, oh, sneakers are back. And I'm like, if that's your metric for sneakers being back, then I'm like, you really got to reevaluate what you consider to be sneaker culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, true enough, that shit happened back in the day when we were younger, but those are not highlights of sneaker culture to me. Those are lowlights.
100%.
Those are things we can leave behind. I'll never forget the last time, I still remember the last time I waited in line for a pair of shoes. And the reason I stopped was because we're waiting in line, It was for the playoff 12s, and we're waiting in line, and it was at Eastland, and they came out. It was a young girl, and they had pieces of paper with all the sizes. So it was going from front to back. What size you need? What size you need? And when they ran out of sizes, they ran out of sizes. That's it.
Yeah, that's what we did. Yep.
She ran out of papers, ran out of sizes, and they start cussing her out, like as if she's making like personal decisions on who gets a shoe or not. It ain't personal. It's first come, first serve, motherfucker. Like she runs out of sizes, she supposed to go back there and make some more.
Right.
And and it got so bad, this poor girl cried. Like the manager had to come out and grab her. Right. They called security and stuff. And, you're waiting in line early enough to where, the mall is open, but the stores aren't.
Yeah.
And you got the mall walkers walking around. I'll never forget, it was this black couple. They walked past, and you could just see the disappointment in their faces.
They should have never gave you niggas money.
Just the sheer disappointment, because you got all these black folks in line acting a fucking fool over a pair of shoes. And I'm in line with them, and I'm like, oh my God, it's embarrassing. Like, I felt embarrassed. I really did. And I was like, I'm not doing this again. Like, that was literally the last time I waited online for a pair of shoes, because it was just like, this ain't cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this, I remember waiting in line. Like, I remember when like the mall opened the doors and it would be like a mad dash to Foot Locker. That was kind of fun. You know what I'm saying? Because you're running.
Yeah, in your youth.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't do that now.
Right.
But even then, it was just like, but it was like no harm in that. It was just like, we're running to the store. We want to be the first in line. I remember going from store to store trying to find a shoe, like, or even waiting in line and kicking it with people, and you see familiar faces.
That's what I miss.
Yeah,
I miss that.
Because this is before like the internet was like really big, where you had like social media and shit. So it's like you had like nice, not nice kids, but Nike Talk and stuff like that. But just talking about the different releases, like releases that you heard are coming out later this year. You see familiar faces from the last release that y'all waited in line in, and you're kicking in, you're talking and whatnot. That part. But the fighting shit, I was never down with. And like as I got older, it just became more and more of a turnoff. And like I said, so much so that last time, I was like, I'm not doing this shit again. Like if I I had a connection after that point where like he held my size 15 for me, so I didn't have to do all that waiting in line and shit. I just show up whenever. And then eventually you get it online,
But see, even that in itself, though,
what?
Like the camaraderie to be able to build up that connection.
Yeah.
Like it felt like it, because I was that person going to take care of you, and then down the line you're going to take care of that person.
Yeah, because he sees you as a regular. Like I see you for every release. Okay, well, I know I'm guaranteed to sell to you, and I want to keep you happy because I want to keep you coming back.
Exactly.
So I get that.
None of that exists anymore.
Not really.
Like I remember one of my favorite releases was the Defining Moments 6 and 7 pack.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was working at Westland Champs, and I remember we didn't even know we were getting a shoe until like the week of.
Yeah.
And I think we only ended up getting we got 11 pair. Like that was it. And people found out. And I remember it was the day before the release. So we're, closing this. I had closed that day, and I knew I was coming in, a little bit early because I just wanted to be there for the release, just to be there. And you just see all the people sitting in their cars waiting. Like they see you walk out. Yep. Oh, what's going on, champs? What's up? How many of y'all? Like
they your friends all of a sudden.
Exactly. But it's like it just felt cool because it was like you talking shit to them and whatnot. Like not anything malicious or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then you turn around early the next day. Like get up there like 7:30 in the morning, and it's the same people. Hey, I'm still here. And it's like those type of bonds I feel like are so missed within the sneaker community right now. Because like we would shoot the shit with those people. Like you said, we talk about the different releases. We talk about how we had to hunt down certain pairs. How we had to, I had to drive all the way to Cleveland to go get this, or I had to go here, or my sister-in-law was flying out to LA and she said she saw this and thought of me and grabbed those stories don't exist anymore.
Because those interactions were communal. Like whereas like me fighting you, ain't nothing communal about that.
I mean that shit not fun, man. Like,
ain't nothing fun about that. And at the end of the day,
time for that.
Personally I would feel stupid. Even when I was younger, I would have felt dumb. Me now I definitely would feel extra stupid. I got a whole daughter at home. I'm up here fighting you over shoes. Like,
man, that's like I remember working at the Villa, and we'd have people get mad that we ran out of shoes and they try and cuss us out or threaten us and, flash guns and stuff like that.
Nigga, this shit just got rigged.
Well, what you gonna do, bitch?
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. You know Luke and Perry from 20th and 25th?
You ever heard of rolling 20s, nigga? Since I was 16, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Frosty. You know what I'm saying? Spoon, nigga. We fuck dwarves in the ass.
Nigga, this dwarf here don't gotta be taller. Pull a trigger off of somebody's face, nigga.
Please,
Good
nigga,
afternoon.
back up. What's up?
Hey,
What?
Well, welcome to Smart Tech.
Hey, is this your boy?
Yeah, nigga, we will both mash you. What?
Hey,
what?
how can we
Where you
help
at?
you, sir?
No, he don't need no help. He's already been served. I served him. He's taken care of. He's a little slow, but he got it. See, what he thought was he could come up in here and make the rules, but now he see that Jay make the rules in Smart Tech. Then I run this bitch, and now he about to bounce.
This your boy?
Yeah, that's my boy, nigga. We rep the same Smart Tech.
You just got fucked up with him. Both y'all niggas gonna get clapped up when I get back. Both of y'all niggas.
What did I do?
It don't fucking matter.
And it's like, what you want me to do? Like,
For what?
I'm sorry we didn't get enough shoes. Like, what you want me to do about that? I'm like, yeah, shit like that is whack. But I will say, I kind of like seeing people line up because again, it made me think like that communal aspect.
That aspect of it,
maybe it can come back.
That aspect of it was cool, but everything that happened afterwards undermined it.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. But but people weren't posting just people online. They were posting the people fighting. They were posting the people acting stupid and tearing up stores and shit as a way to show, look, sneakers are back. Look how they're acting. Look how ravages they're getting over a pair of shoes. I'm like, dog, that's not the shit I want to bring back. If you want to bring back the lines and shit and the communal aspect of it, yes. If you want to bring that back and you think that's the metric for whether or not sneakers are back, keep that shit. Keep it back wherever it came from. I don't want no parts of it. And should nobody else want any parts of it? Because should nobody have to fear going to get a pair of shoes? No. It's come on, man. Like, point blank, period. There's no argument to be made for the other side on that.
Right.
Honestly, not an argument I'm trying to listen to. So yeah, that part. The black toes. Well, let me go back to the band ones. I swear this could be the last time I mention the band ones. The black and red ones.
I doubt it.
This will be the last time I mention them. Like, because some people, we talked about this before the show. And because people asked me, like, did you get them? I was over it. Like, honestly, like, I made no attempts to get them. I was over, like, whatever disdain you see me have on this show on social media, that shit was real. That was legit. That wasn't for content. Like, I was literally pissed off. I'm good. Like, I made zero attempts to get a pair. However, people mentioned like that they felt like certain stores here in Detroit should have looked out. Nobody owes me anything. Now, I will say though, because some people felt some way about this too. And I had conversations with people that they brought it up. I didn't even bring it up. They brought it up. The fact that JumpmanBostic got to fly to Orlando. And I'm kind of glad he's not here because then, he doesn't get he doesn't get any blowback. Because Jumpman cool. Like, he's not going to ever speak on this. Like, he's too cool to speak on this. And and let me say this too. Jumpman has not said a word to me about any of this.
No.
But it does say something when you have the biggest Air Jordan collector in the world, who's known worldwide, respected, where Marcus Jordan himself has more respect for this man to make sure he gets a pair than people here in Detroit.
What?
I ain't saying no names. I'm just saying.
Well, so I'm leaving that one alone. That was the part about his situation and his story that I thought was cool.
Yeah.
Was the fact that Marcus reached out to him.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yes. To make sure he was covered.
Yeah, exactly. Now, again, I don't get into the whole thing. Like, I would hope that there would have been some form of taking care of him to be able to get down there to purchase the shoes.
Yeah.
Or, maybe once he was down there for him to be able to purchase the shoes. Like, hey, we appreciate you and we appreciate you coming out here. I would hope, I don't know. I was hoping to see JB today to kind of,
but no, this speaks to a bigger issue though. For me, like, the brand wants to celebrate 40 years of existence, right? Dude, like,
he shouldn't have to fly nowhere to go get that shoe. That shoe should have been sent to him.
But I'm like, you celebrating everybody else. It's like, you celebrating all these people. you're celebrating all these other people, DJ Khaled, right?
It always
who's
comes back to
done
him.
nothing like to. If you ask me, and I feel like if you ask a lot of people, he ain't did shit to further Jordan Brand as a brand. Like, no, I just honestly, when I think of Jordan Brand,
he had his 5s on a pillow. That was
honestly, that makes me not like Jordan 5s. Like, if anything, I'm getting rid of all my Jordan 5s.
Those should have been reimagined.
Man, I want to reimagine him existing on a public level at least. But I just, to me, when you have somebody who's literally been supporting your brand from day one, before it became the brand that, you know, everybody knows and loves, he's been supporting the brand from day one, and you don't acknowledge him on any level. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, to me, if I'm a customer, right, and you're looking to get my business, but I see how you treat the one customer you've had that supports you through thick and thin. I mean, he's bought every pair of Fusions. He's bought, you know what I'm saying? He's bought, like, the shit that we look back at, like, the fuck?
You're the only one that looked down on the Fusions.
I'm not the only one that looked down on Fusions. A lot of people look down on Fusions. No.
You are.
No. But he has supported y'all through thick and thin. Right? When everybody was saying Yeezy jumped out of a Jumpman, he said, nah, fuck that. Right? And so for this man to support y'all to the point where half his house is literally a Jordan museum. Matter of fact, I'm going to put people on blast. He supports y'all so much that his shit is a museum to the point when Pensole when they wanted to design that space for Wilson Smith, who deserves it, like much deserved. Like if anybody deserves that acknowledgement, it's definitely Wilson Smith. But they couldn't get the shit from Jordan Brand.
Nope.
Because Jordan Brand didn't have it. Guess who had it? JumpmanBostic.
Yeah.
Right? That's how dedicated of a collection he has. And you can't even mention this dude's name. You can't even retweet something. You can't even get this dude a shout on Twitter.
Shit, he should have been. He should have been in the commercial. Honestly,
real talk.
Like
real talk. Like honestly, like it's so funny to me that y'all could think of all the dumb shit, citations, and all this other shit. Let's put blocks on shoes, and you can't think, hey, the most loyal customer we've had in the last 40 years, we can't even acknowledge. Like, there's something to be said about that.
Well, again, that's why, like I said, I thought it was dope that Marcus reached out to him personally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because at least from a standpoint of hey, I see you.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you.
Yeah.
You know, for the legacy that you helped carry for me.
Yeah.
You know, not just, you know, from namesake wise.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool, but I 100% agree. Like, again, if we want to get back to the whole marketing aspect of these Jordan 1 bands,
yeah,
something like that, I think, would have spoke more volumes than, like you said, issuing out citations on campus. Like, hell, I know we had just went, but fuck, you could have invited them back to campus.
You got people out there.
You could have had, maybe you could have did a setup where you had certain individuals that you personally brought back to campus for an event out there. Maybe you could have had them, invited them to Chicago for an event. There's so much more marketing I feel like that could have been done that would have celebrated 40 years of, especially for him, 40 years of collecting, but 40 years of people being loyal customers. There's not another company or another brand that I can think of that if you have been buying loyally for that long to where they just won't acknowledge you, like that doesn't happen.
So I'm thinking of like there's certain people, like, because I'm sure there's people that have gone back and bought original pairs, but there's certain people that bought them like day of. They just dropped, right? And like two people I could think of off the top of my head is JumpmanBostic, Sam Coate. Easily, two people off the top of my head. So for me, I'm like, I don't understand how you don't reach out to the people. But that once again, that speaks to the disconnect that I'm talking about, where the brand only exists. Like, they acknowledge sneaker culture only when they want something. You know what I'm saying? It's like the husband that only like buys you flowers when he wants some sex.
What?
It's like, but he don't spend no time with you. Don't take you on no dates or nothing. It's just, I'm gonna throw this gift at you to get what I want. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? And so there's like, so when you have that disconnect, then that leads to some of the dumbass decisions they make that leave you just kind of scratching your head like that. Like, that was an obvious mistake. Like, how could a brand as big as Jordan Brand miss that? But you got people there who are not really in I don't want to say entrenched, because you ain't got to necessarily be entrenched, but you got to at least be aware of. You know what I'm saying? And so if I'm celebrating a milestone, like if we was doing, like, let's just say it's our 50th anniversary of doing a podcast, if we make it that far, right? Yeah. 50th anniversary, or 25, let's say 25 years, right?
Let's start small.
25 years of doing this podcast. I still remember listeners from the beginning that are still listening now, right? So if we were to do something that significant, I could see me reaching out to them because y'all been rocking with us from the beginning.
Or I could do you one better. Knowing you probably reach out to, some of the people prior that had been on the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, let's celebrate this. Yeah. So
it's just weird to me that they...
But what it highlights to me is exactly what you had just said is, and I remember you've always kind of said it, because I feel like me and Guru we shit on the designers.
Yeah.
But like when we were there, the designers knew who JB was. Like, when he was walking around campus, they were amazed.
Stopping him.
Yeah, they were stopping him like he was a celebrity, like he was Jordan himself. They stopped him like he was Jordan himself. Yeah. And it was like, how is it that they know, but yet your people that do marketing or, maybe set up executive offices, how is it that they don't know?
No, they know, because some people even said, we've tried to talk to them. We've reached out to marketing or whatever to do X, Y, and Z, and they just get rebuffed. They get turned down. Nothing gets done. So they are aware of him. I've even made some calls to people, and I'll never forget, I got one person that responded to me, isn't he a reseller? Now, mind you, this is back when he first started pulling all his fusions. And I'm like, what reseller wearing fusions? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't like,
but that right there, that's what I'm saying. The ignorance.
Yeah.
To think that person is a reseller when you see, like, come on now.
But it's funny though, because me and Jumpman have this thing we do when we go out of town where I always, call him the celebrity. And so we have a bet that we make where it's like, if somebody recognizes him at any point while we're in town or out of town, $5, $5 bet. With the Nike, he still owes me. I think he owed me like $75 because they was like you to your point. Oh, JumpmanBostic. So it's like it's not like they don't know who he is.
That was, to me, that was crazy.
It's just
that was crazy. Like, I felt like I was with a celebrity.
Yeah,
like legit. Like,
oh man, you should have brought me out here. How am I bringing you out here? What the fuck? But we talked about the Black Toes too. I don't think there's much to add to what we have already said. It wasn't in our top 5. I didn't think it was that. I don't think it was the worst release. I just didn't think it was. It's kind of that's just the reaction. It's just it came out. I guess.
I mean, they like I said, they look.
You like them,
they look
them,
decent.
get them.
I mean, it's just
don't let me stop you from getting them.
Hey, look, more power to the people that got them.
Yeah,
and the people that got them, put it this way: come this summer, I'd love to see people with them on their feet.
Yeah,
like keeping it real. I'd love to see people with them on their feet.
I hope so. And like I said, don't let me stop you from enjoying something you enjoy. Like, if you like the shoe,
that wasn't on my list. I had put up a post of all of the All-Star shoes, and that wasn't one. Like the only two that I got my eye on.
Yeah,
it was the Kobe's and all the Galaxy phones.
Yep, the Galaxy phones are that, man. I'm telling you right there. Now I will fight somebody. I will stab you. No,
I stabbed a man in the heart. I saw that. Brick killed a guy. Did you throw a trident? Yeah, there were horses and a man on fire, and I killed a guy with a trident. Brick, I've been meaning to talk to you about that. You should find yourself a safe house or a relative close by. Lay low for a while, because you're probably wanted for murder.
I'm playing. I will not.
Hey, look, to me, it's funny. I think about the pigeon dunks.
Yeah.
Like how that kind of like, how Jeff Staple kind of like blew up.
Yeah.
Over like the release of that shoe.
Yeah.
I think back to the Galaxy phones and like all of the stories that again, this was early internet era, like early social media internet era. Mm-hmm. So it's like you just hear about all of these stories, like what was happening in Because it was in Orlando that year?
Yeah, it was Orlando.
Yeah, you hear about the stories of
that whole space collection was.
Oh my God, that was again. That's why I do not like their All-Star collection this year.
I get you. Yeah, I get where you're coming from on that.
Yeah,
I get where you're
it's
coming
very
from.
lazy. But yeah, no.
Was the black label, was that official?
I'm pretty sure that is the All-Star collection.
Really?
From what I've seen, I could be wrong, but I mean, we recording today. Today's the day of the All-Star game, and I haven't seen anything else.
I can proudly say I missed every bit of activity from All-Star weekend.
I watched last night just because I was bored.
I refused to. I'm like, y'all are some bullshit. I'm not.
The dunk contest, Mac McClung, he wasn't bad, but it was expected. When your first dunk is you dunking over a car, like, why are we doing the contest still? Like, we might as well just stop.
But the way you said it, though, it wasn't bad. Like, I'm just not interested.
Well, because I feel like the highlight of the whole weekend is the dunk contest, right?
No, it is. But once again, if you're talking about the highlight of the weekend and your response is, it wasn't bad, like, that doesn't excite me at all.
I mean, well, the other thing too, like we always
you
say,
making a dunk contest sound like the black toes.
I mean, well, you know, when they have people that I've probably never heard of in the dunk contest,
yeah, because the stars are too pussy to fucking get the dunk contest.
Hey, look, kids,
I don't want to hurt myself. Okay,
kids, if you want to go back, watch probably to me what I think is the greatest dunk contest of all time. Not Dominique and Jordan, but Jason Richardson and Desmond Mason.
Oh my God, yeah, go back to that.
That was crazy.
I mean, it's been some good head-to-head battles.
Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon, that was really good.
They had two,
That first one though.
Yeah, but my other thing is like, all of a sudden these players are like, oh, get hurt. Like, no, like every legend before you, you know what I'm saying? Like, they did the shit because they knew
they ran the same risk.
Yeah, what makes you better than them? That's the thing that gets me pissed off. It's like, it used to be, if I want to be as great as so-and-so, I got to at least do what they did. And if I want to be greater, I got to take it beyond that.
Yeah.
Now these players want all the adulation without doing half the work. And it's like, so you too good. Dr. J did it. Michael Jordan did it. Dominique Wilkins did it. Kobe did it. Like, what makes you better than any of those people? Because you don't want to get hurt. You want to get injured. Like, whatever. This is a sneaker podcast, not a sports podcast. So.
They had on sneakers.
I'll just leave it alone. I just think it's such bullshit. It's like, y'all sound like the biggest bitches. It's like, and it's not like y'all got guaranteed contracts. Like, you motherfucker. Like, I can see an NFL player because it's not guaranteed. So I get that. You got guaranteed money. You can sit. Ooh, anyway.
Man, let's look at how many games half the players play now anyway.
All right, man. The NBA, man. I went from used to being like an avid lover of the NBA to like, I got to catch every game.
Man,
so now it's like.
It was to an extent where I really didn't even care about the NFL that much. Where it was like, it'd be like, football's okay, but it'd be like basketball season.
Yeah.
Like,
nah, I love football more than anything as far as sports is concerned. And to be honest, this All-Star game, because we're recording on a Sunday right now, I'm not watching that shit. I refuse to. That whole team A, team B shit.
Again, I'm gonna watch it. It's gonna be background noise. It'll be on. I'll have it on, just kind of see. I'm gonna tell you
I'm not adding to the ratings for that.
I'm gonna tell you another reason why I do want to watch it though.
What's
so
that?
I can see Cade Cunningham. It's because that's our guy in Detroit.
Wait till he come back to Detroit and play in the Pistons game.
I mean, I am gonna go to some games. I went to a game last year, and
I refuse to watch this bullshit. When you got to do this whole team thing that they're doing to make it so that these players are invested, like, you should come invested just because. Once again, the people before you were invested.
I agree.
Like, I don't understand why y'all feel so entitled to like just come and just show up and throw your jersey on and throw some shoes out there and think that y'all could just phone it in and people should be happy with that.
Well, my favorite thing every All-Star weekend for like the past, what is it now, like 5 years?
Yeah.
Has been every weekend you see the report. Well, Commissioner Adam Silver has had a meeting with the players to make sure that they actually compete. And every year when he's giving out the MVP trophy, it's like you could tell he just pissed.
You know what? Honestly, oh yeah, he's bad as fuck.
Like every year, it's the same thing. Like you could just tell he's like, "What the fuck?" Like it's not what we talked about.
Man, he probably under his breath.
They should have never gave you niggas money.
But listen. Adam Silver. Adam Silver. Honestly, he might be one of the worst commissioners. Because he just it's almost so like
promising too.
The inmates run the asylum, and it's like, it's just it's just not good. Like I'm all for empowerment to a certain degree, but at the same time, there's always an imbalance, right? Like I don't like it when the owners have too much power either.
Right.
But it has to be some type of middle ground where like one extreme doesn't like overcome the other. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a battle of extremes now, and there's no middle ground, and it's just it makes for unwatchable basketball because it's like, honestly, I think the players are taking the fans for granted. I really do.
I don't think they care.
That speaks to taking them granted. Like
you're
right. Like they don't care. I don't think they care.
Yeah, I don't think they care overall.
I don't think they care. As long as they're getting their money, they don't give a fuck. But they don't. But it's like it's so short sighted because it's like, where's the reason why you're getting the money? Like us watching the games is the reason why you get the television deals. Us going paying for the tickets and buying your jerseys is why you're getting the money that you're getting as far as like the contracts and shit like that.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to me that they don't realize that. And it's like, what is it going to take for people just to like tune out altogether for them to like realize we fucked up? Because the ratings are down. Like it's like, but you know what the problem
ratings
is?
Have been dropping
like a rock. You know what's crazy though? Is they'll point to, oh, but look at our social media. Oh, look, the likes we get.
I was going to say that's
the problem.
That's what they're basing it off of now.
Yeah, but so you don't get paid by Instagram likes, do you?
There's got to be some form of money in it.
I mean, unless this is a sponsored ad, which most of the posts in the NBA isn't. So it's like you're not making any money. Like we talked about this in this was years ago, but I remember talking about how brands were realizing that likes didn't necessarily translate to
dollars
revenue.
Yeah.
Right. You can get all the likes in the world. Like you could post this shoe and it could get 1 million likes on social media. And then you drop them and like nobody buys them. There was a girl, she had like 1 million followers. I forgot her name, but this was years ago. Social media influencer. She dropped her own merch, didn't sell hardly anything.
Yeah.
And there's like, so all I have to say is that likes and all the other shit, it takes no effort to hit that heart.
Yeah.
But to go online and purchase your shit, or go on to a store and purchase your shit, or to turn the TV on to watch your shit, that's different. And so I don't know. I don't know. The NBA got a problem.
Well, I mean, they really messed up too. And what was that? They didn't renew the deal with TNT.
Oh no, you got the best show in sports, like across all sports. And
I mean, because
but that tells you everything.
Yeah, well, to be fair,
they did get saved.
Well, to be fair though, like I know for most basketball fans, that TNT like Thursday night game, that's why you're gonna watch it. It's because you want to see what
I tune in to more NBA games to see the show
exactly
than to watch the game. So yeah, to your point, I agree. It's a sneaker show. I'll leave it to the sports podcast.
Sorry.
But anyway, Converse. Get to some sneaker news. Converse closes its Soho location. Have I been in New York Soho? I've been in London Soho, but I haven't been to New York.
I didn't know there were multiple Sohos.
Yes.
See, I'm not as cultured.
What? You like a high-level exec at Pepsi, then?
I don't know.
You got access to the private jet.
Technically, right now, I don't have a job.
Clean out your desk. You're gone.
What? Oh, man, we got to talk about that after the show.
Technically.
Are they restructuring?
Yes, we're going through a restructure right now.
Oh, but they ain't like Adidas.
That's what it feels
like. It's not a layoff. We're just not giving you a job.
That's what it feels like. Still getting paid, but technically don't have a job title right.
Okay.
Yeah.
an article written by Lois, Sakani for Snubet News. Converse has closed its flagship location at 560 Broadway in Soho. The 2-story, 10,000 square foot location was Converse's largest location globally. Converse first occupied the space in 2010, and 6 years later, they invested in a major renovation project, which added additional space and a customization bar. Real quick about that customization bar, because I remember Nike, they used to have the Nike Lab, and they used to do the bespoke.
Mm-hmm.
They got rid of that shit too. But it was so expensive, though.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke ass.
It was so expensive. I think it was like over $1,000 to do your own shoe.
Yeah, I mean, so the average person,
couldn't do it. So,
Yeah.
The reason for the closing? Simple. The lease was up and sales at the location didn't justify the rent. Can't argue with that. Allegedly, the former Converse space has already been scooped up by American Eagle. I thought it was going to say
Adidas.
No. What's
Under Armour?
No, that place every Halloween.
What, Party City?
No, it's another place.
Halloween USA?
It be
Spencer's?
No. It's like a running gag on the internet. Whenever something closes, it gets occupied by this store for Halloween. It's a Halloween themed store. I can't think of the name.
That's what I said in Halloween USA.
Is that what
the
it
name
is?
of it? I think that's the name of it.
I don't think
Well,
it's
either that. It used to be fireworks stores that would occupy those spaces too.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends on the season. But that one in particular, because it's true, because anytime I see a store close, you just see them roll out a banner with their logo on it and just take over the store, at least for the Halloween season.
The whole store would be gutted.
Yeah. In May of last year, Bloomberg reported that Converse laid off 2% of his workforce, mirroring parent company Nike's own staff reductions at the time. A spokesperson for Converse said that the brand was realigning some of their teams to better support future growth. Is that what Pepsi told you? They're realigning. They also confirmed that the total changes to their workforce were included in Nike's overall 2% reduction plan. However, they were operating on a discrete timeline, whatever that is. Converse's fiscal year revenue in 2024 was $2 billion, off a high of $2.4 billion the year prior. Converse's revenue when it opened in Soho back in 2010 was only $983 million. So they doubled.
Yeah.
On Nike's Q2 call, Converse sales were only $429 million, down 18% on a currency neutral basis.
Okay, makes sense then.
Yeah. Converse still operates over 70 stores, though the vast majority are outlet stores.
I mean, I was gonna say, like, is there a need for a Converse store?
Is Soho?
Like overall,
I was like, maybe not.
Like,
that's why I'm not mad. I'm not mad at them close. I mean, I haven't been in New York in a while, but Soho was like the nicest area, so it was like paying top dollar.
It made sense for them,
yeah.
but who's walking around? I mean, outside of people with dirty ass Chuck Taylors, I mean, who's really walking around buying Converse like that anymore? To where operating that many brick and mortar locations is worth it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is one of the few stories where I understand the reduction.
Yeah,
because it's like, I mean, I feel like Converse does sell, like, because I see a lot of people at Chuck's. It depends on the area, like West Coast.
Yeah, but I feel, but you can get them from anywhere. Like, that's the thing about
right.
Converse. Like,
so yeah, I mean, to have a huge store, 10,000 square foot store in Soho, yeah.
Like, how many Converse All-Stars, Chuck Taylor All-Stars, can you have in one 10,000 square foot space?
That's true, because my daughter loves Converse, like she loves Chucks, and so periodically we'll go to the outlet in Great Lakes Crossing, and even in that small space, you'll have like so many variations. You got the lows, you got the highs, you got every color.
That's what I'm saying.
And
like, what?
So you don't necessarily need 10,000 square feet. Well, how big is 10,000 square feet? Now I'm trying to like picture that in my head.
Man, it just sounds like too much.
Because 100 square feet is what, 10 by 10? So 1,000 would be.
I mean, I feel like when you say what 10,000 square feet, we got to be talking about, was that roughly the size of what, about maybe 5-6 houses?
100 by 100 feet. 100 feet by 100 feet is what? Yeah, it's
2,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, maybe about four or 5 houses.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
That's too much.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I'm just trying to think like what else?
Yeah.
What else are they selling out of there? Like you finally
Man, I'm
just.
guessing they got apparel in there. Because you ever been to like a Nike store? It's probably set up the same way.
How many different T-shirts can
For
have
Converse?
the Converse
No.
logo on it?
I will say this while I'm thinking about it. What's my man? The Shai
Gilgeous-Alexander?
Yes.
Yeah.
He got his own shoe with Converse.
Yeah, you know what it looked like?
At Iverson.
Iverson 3. When I saw it, I was
first
just
saw
like,
it. But I ain't mad
no,
at
I'm
it.
not mad at it. I feel like it fit him.
Here's the problem I have with
like
that shoe.
color, though.
That part. To this day, I don't know how many times I've had to say it. The inaugural colorway for most of these releases that they come out with a new shoe be atrocious or basic.
Yeah.
This was super basic. They just gave him a beige shoe. It's almost like they just gave him the clay mold. Like,
I was gonna say it looked
this.
like when you get to that last little bit of the crayon,
Yeah.
like, and that's what's left.
Yeah, it was just
After
like,
you
nah,
sharpened
what
it a
the
couple of
fuck?
times.
Like, y'all couldn't give them team colors? Like, what?
It looked like some Pottery Barn. That's the Pottery Barn SGAs.
Like him and what's the guy from Ghost? Patrick Swayze. Yeah, it's like they just sat there and molded.
Patrick Swayze was right behind him.
Behind him, helping him mold the shoe in the clay. That's what I was just like. Y'all could not get this dude a better colorway to roll out to present this shoe to the public.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why he couldn't get team colors.
Because it was like, because the colors kind of highlight the features on the shoe and whatever. I mean, it's just like,
I feel like you could have like the parts on the paneling that kind of like stick out.
Yeah.
Or you could have insinuated that with an outline, like a black bold outline.
Something, man.
Like, something with the blue from OKC. You could have. The Thunder could have had like raindrops or something like
something. They could have.
You could have got
anything
creative.
better than that.
Yeah,
but despite the colorway, I see the potential in that shoe.
Yeah, no, shoe. I mean,
the shoe, like the silhouette
like
itself, minus the colorway, I see it, and so it's like, if they come my size and they come with a better colorway, I can see me with a pair of those.
Because it looked just like an Iverson.
I ain't gonna lie. Like, first time I saw it, I was like, yo.
When I thought the same thing. I was like, when did he sign with Reebok?
Yeah. Iverson vibes from those. Speaking of which, Reebok has a shoe. They're like black and silver. I can't think of the name of it, but I'm going to put the picture up on this video. I saw Nightwing's video on it, and he was talking about how hella comfortable we were. Now, look-wise, I wasn't impressed. But he was just raving about the comfort of the shoe, which makes me want to try them out. At least try them on. Whether I walk out the store with them or not, we'll see. But I at least want to try them on. Let's see. Women's World Marathon record is broken with the Nike Alpha Fly 3 Super. That sounds like a Dragon Ball Z title. Alpha Fly 3 Super. Like, that is...
It does sound like an anime.
Yeah. It's like, what? An article written by Peter Very for Footwear News. Another marathon record has been broken wearing the latest Nike Super shoe. Ruth, I am about to butcher this name. Shepnagetich.
Just make her picture will be up, right?
Yeah. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all see her. She broke the women's world record at the 2024 Bank of America Chicago Marathon with a time of 2 hours, 9 minutes, and 56 seconds. The Nike-sponsored runner bested the mark of 2 hours, 11 minutes, and 53 seconds set by, look at this, Adidas back runner. Can we get somebody with normal names? God. Tigist Asefa? All right, listen, judge it to my mind, not my heart.
Aren't most of them? Never mind.
Get him out of here. Get him out.
Y'all see the picture.
I already know what drop I'm using for that. Back in the 2023 Berlin Marathon, the Nike Alpha Fly 3 Super Shoe was first worn by Kelvin Kiptum last October. I feel like that's gonna be the most normal name outside of Peter Very that wrote this article. Last October during the 2023 Chicago Marathon, when he broke the men's marathon world record with a time of 2 hours and 35 seconds. In terms of tech, Nike specifically added 3 innovations to the shoe designed to offer peak performance. 1, there are 2 4-foot air zoom units in the shoe, which Nike explained were added to launch you into your next step. And I will say, with those 2 air zoom units, do feel like your foot is just bouncing off the ground.
I just kind of feel like, wouldn't it make?
It feels like you're being propelled.
But wouldn't it also make the shoe feel a little heavy to be doing a marathon like that?
Those zoom units, like, you ever wore? It makes me think about the GT.
No, I haven't worn any of the GTs.
Okay, try a pair of the GT jumps. Like, they probably the lightest shoe I've held in my hand. One of the lightest shoes I've held in my hand, and they just feel like you're propelling. Let me see. 2, the zoom units were paired with heel-to-toe Zoom X midsole foam, which was added to store and return the energy back to you. And 3, the shoe features a full-length carbon fiber plate to give the wearer a propulsive sensation. So the Alpha Fly 3 is not only Nike's lightest shoe in their Alpha Fly franchise, but it also has the brand's Atom Knit that was designed for improved multi-directional containment and breathability. The Nike Alpha Fly 3 Super Shoe currently retails for $285. So, I mean, if it does all that, I guess it's worth it.
I like, again, we shit on their innovation and technology.
Yeah.
That seems like they're putting it to good use.
Yeah.
Where they're actually getting involved in innovation.
I could have sworn one of them got banned.
I think that was like last year or a couple years ago.
A couple years ago, like, got banned because it was just like too good. It was like,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know what's the determining factor for a shoe being too good.
I mean, I guess if you win a race,
because I'm like, you got to think like, okay, so the first people to like put spikes on their shoes, like, was that against the rules because it gave them more traction than the other?
I mean, again, I guess if you said she won, her record was like 2 hours and 35 minutes.
It was 2 hours 9 minutes.
So I mean, I guess like if whoever was in second place was like 2 hours and 40 minutes, it'd be like, all right,
okay, yeah, big distinction.
It's
Yeah.
like, all right, what you got going on there?
Yeah. You might have her do a drug test at that point because it's like, if you beating people by 40 minutes.
I mean, saw what happened to Lance Armstrong.
So that's why. What time is it?
What time is it? Because I'm hurting.
Shit, I don't know. Shit, we just in here.
I know. I ain't got no soundage in there. Just left.
4:30.
Like, this show is bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. I ain't talking about shit.
No, I'm out of here.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Yeah, this will be a
It's
two-part.
probably not even recording right now.
This will be a two-part office.
Just turned it off and left.
Jokes on us.
Right. Oh, man. But no, I mean, because it's technology advances, right? It's interesting to see how we contextualize achievements, all right? Because how much was that you know?
Right.
Because because these brands, they do a lot of R&D into their performance side of their shoes, so it has an effect,
right?
To what capacity? I guess that's always been the question. Because it just makes me think, like, like in the future, like, you just know somebody's gonna come up with something crazy that, absorbs all the shock, so you don't you could jump all day and not feel it in your legs.
Yeah, no, that's why I think at some point, all of these competitions, these records, we'll just have to be yeah, that's the record, and it's just not gonna get broken because there's no way we can actually competition won't exist anymore.
Yeah, because you think about I think going back to the NBA, people wearing Chuck Taylors, that's probably the most basic of sneakers you could possibly wear, right? And they're doing all types of dunks and stuff, moves that
they weren't dunking.
No, according to this generation, they weren't doing anything.
They was doing hook shots.
No, they were dunking.
Set shots.
Oh, yeah, I need to go back. This is why
they was doing Rick Barry underhand free throws.
This is why I wish NBA Classic was still around.
Oh man,
it was still
you talk about a channel that I used to
love watching that.
Oh man,
because if you love basketball, you love basketball.
Especially watching it right now, they be playing all of the old All-Star games.
Yeah. Oh, you know they would.
Oh
yeah, you know they would. And so I used to love watching the games from the 70s and the 80s, and every now and then from the 60s. It's because yes, it was different, right? Some aspects of it was slower, but to a degree, I feel like there was more skill involved in some of the stuff.
Well,
I think there's a difference between talent and skill. I feel like talent is something you're born with. Skill is something you work on. And I feel like a lot of these players nowadays lean more on talent than skill.
Yeah, they lean on their athleticism.
Yeah.
I could see that because back then, I just think overall humans weren't as athletic as they are now. Right? It's part of human evolution, right? That's a real thing. So I think, you did have to just naturally be skilled and learn the skill and master a skill enough to be able to pick up on it. I think that's why we always say, could some of the players from then play now?
No, so that's the question. So the question, because when we talk about, because to me it's not a, I don't want to say it. There's a lot of context to that, right? I think the question for me is, because when we do this old generation versus, players now, I always ask, if you were to give players back in the day the same conditioning, the coaches that they have now, the same diet regimens that they have now, the same medicine that they have now. Because remember, Achilles injuries, that was the end of your career. Now you can come back from that. Technology, the shoes, like I said, the shoes that they have now, we just read about a shoe that got all this shit in there versus people wearing Chuck Taylors. You know what I'm saying? So if you was to give them all the things that we have available now, right? Like the compression legs and the shorts and, all that stuff that contributes, how much better would they be? Conversely, if you were to take players now and only gave them what they had available in the 60s, would they be the same player? That's the real question to ask.
I think great players of today, I think would still be able to survive back then.
I don't know.
Some of these
dudes break down now with all the stuff they got.
I think only great players. Now, I'm not talking about just average, just good players. I'm thinking about
But I'm talking about you could be a great player and still be injured. Look at Joel Embiid.
I don't consider him a great player.
I think when healthy, he could be a great player. Now, he makes a lot of dumbass decisions, and he loves to shoot a lot of threes.
So, somebody that I think about is Kyrie Irving. Thinking him as a great player. I think he would have been able to survive because, again, from a skill standpoint, he's very skilled at dribbling the basketball.
Here's another thing to add into that. When you have a lineage of players to look at, you have a reference point in which to model your game, right? So, like a Kyrie Irving, I'm guessing he probably looked up to Allen Iverson, right?
Probably him. No, who did he say he looked up to? I think he did say who he looked up to. I think he did say Allen Iverson. I think Allen Iverson, Kobe.
Yeah. So you look up to those type of players, but who do they look up to? So what I'm saying is there is a legacy there.
Yeah, I can see that.
So if you didn't have an Allen Iverson and a Kobe Bryant, and all you had to go off was Bob Cousy and Tiny Archibald, would he be the same Kyrie? You know what I'm saying?
I think he could be with a Bob Cousy because when I see,
he could have been, but I'm saying, but how much how much change would that have done to his game? Because once again, if I have a Michael Jordan to look up to, like a Kobe Bryant, he has a Michael Jordan to look up to. So now he adds those attributes to his game, right? And so that whole killer instinct and, the footwork and all this other stuff.
Right.
If he didn't have a Michael Jordan to model himself after, how different would his game have been?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the question.
Yeah.
And so, because people like to do these one-to-one things where it's like, just translate him here and it's like, but there's a lot of context.
There's a lot of
and
nuances.
Yeah. To that. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, just think about the technology that we have today. Like the advancement in medicine that we have today, right? Like they got back then you had the head coach and that was it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like back then, now it's like you got 10 people on the bench. You got the nutritionist, you got the conditioning coach, you got the defensive coach, you got the offensive coach, you got the head coach, you got.
Well, I think the other one, like you said, is with medicine. I think to be fair, I think about Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
Right? Like you said, with the Achilles injury.
Yeah.
He's able to come back. He's probably able to play another 5-6 seasons.
Dominique Wilkins.
Another one, Achilles injury. Would have been able to come back. Probably wouldn't have been able to be the same player.
Right.
In terms of what he was known for doing, but still at least would have been able to contribute and play. So, I mean, I think that is a fair assessment. Yeah. But it's funny because I even think outside of that, you think about a lot of those players back then, it felt like they played much longer anyway.
Yeah, it feels like we got more injuries now.
Yeah.
But once again, I think, I don't know, that's a whole bag of worms that I might not be educated enough to talk about, but it's interesting, it's like, are they drinking enough milk?
Oh, somebody! Oh, he needs some milk.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, what's going on? Y'all brittle, because it's not as physical.
No,
you can't tell me it's physicality because I'm like, yo, bro.
I mean, I know your favorite player, Paul George, right? He, Look, if y'all don't get it, y'all got to go back and watch the episode where,
a couple episodes ago. But no,
I think that was about a good 45 minutes we talked about Paul George.
A good chunk of the podcast, just giving Paul George his flowers.
But Paul George is he's always hurt, right? And that's what I'm saying. Is that's why I'm saying, I think great players would still be able to play back then.
Yeah.
Good players would have some issue.
Possibly. But it'd be interesting. If we had the ability, it would be interesting to see scientifically how that would shake out.
Yeah.
But, we haven't done in a while?
What haven't we done in a while?
This Week in Stupid.
What we got?
2 teens arrested for sneaker store theft.
I hope you like prison food and penis.
In an article written by our guy, Brandon King for sneakershoptalk.com, a pair of teenagers were taken into custody for stealing from a Daly City sneaker store. Police say that a group of teenagers stole several items from the JD Sports located in the city's Saramonte Center upon pilfering the ill-gotten goods. What is this, like a Batman sitcom? Pilfering the ill-gotten goods.
Sherlock Holmes.
Batman shows up with his trusty sidekick Robin.
I was going to say, did Brandon King write it or did Sherlock Holmes write it?
Right. Pilfering the ill-gotten goods.
I like pilfering. That's
I know.
one.
I'm gonna start using that. You pilferer. I'm gonna show up at somebody's house who I know steals those ill-gotten goods. The teen then fled in different directions. That might be the smartest thing they did in this whole scenario. Because most people run in groups, and I'm like, they can't catch all of y'all if y'all go different directions.
Yeah, but so they you get scared to get caught. So it's like, I agree. It's smarter to run in 2 separate directions.
Yeah. One of the alleged thieves.
One of the alleged pilferers.
Or the alleged pilferers. a 16-year-old Richmond resident was apprehended. The others remain at large, not for long. I guarantee they broke that 16-year-old.
Oh, as soon as they caught him.
Yeah, it was a wrap. Like the rest of y'all might as well turn yourselves in because he telling. This was a interesting one because usually I get the stories from either Brandon King or from a news outlet. This one I got from a Instagram post that follows different crimes. Pink sneaker bandit caught. In a post by Placer Sheriff on Instagram, A silent alarm was activated at the store gas station along Grass Valley Highway at Dry Creek Road in Placer County. Deputies found the front door had a large break in it, which appeared to be caused by a rock. But due to the size of the break, no one was able to get to the business. The second attempted burglary happened at the Shell station on Lincoln Way near Flood Road. And in that attempt, a rock was thrown through a locked glass door, and lottery tickets were stolen. Surveillance footage showed the female suspect inside the store wearing bright pink sneakers. Because if you're gonna rob people, you want to have as much identifiable things on you as possible.
She had them Asia Wilsons on.
She got a friends and family pair. Boy, what's crazy is like, okay, for any wannabe pilferers out there, the last thing you want to steal is lottery tickets. You know why?
Tell them why.
Because they come with barcodes that they can easily trace. And I don't know why I'm telling you all this, but it's as soon as they sell lottery tickets, I'm like, why would you steal lottery? Like, as soon as you go, like, you win something, as soon as you scratch it off, they know, oh,
yeah,
get her. It's like,
yeah.
Oh boy, but she's wearing bright pink sneakers, so nobody's gonna accuse her of being.
Nobody's gonna notice her.
Genius. The third attempt happened at the Penryn subway, where a safe containing several $1,000s had been taken from the business. They sold a whole safe. Jeez. The break-in was discovered by an employee. A window was broken to get in. Surveillance footage also showed the same suspect vehicle linked to the other cases, as well as a clear view of a male driver and a second suspect. Deputies and detectives quickly got to work on the case and were able to locate the suspect's car in a parking lot off Industrial Avenue in West Placer County. The woman wearing bright pink sneakers was the first individual to come out.
Of course.
Yeah, she's like, you know what? I know you saw my shoes. I'm guilty. Like, she's still wearing them too. Like, it's crazy. Like, you would think.
You people are idiots! That's the what a stupid.
Man, when they went looking, they made shoe contact first.
Yeah, that's probably what I mean. Cop was a sneakerhead. You make shoe contact before make contact.
Right. I was like, oh shit, you got them Asians on already?
Oh snap. Put your hands behind your back, but nice shoes. She was taken into custody. The male suspect was taken into custody shortly after. 41-year-old Callie Garcia and 35-year-old Orlando Marquez were both booked on felony charges, including burglary, conspiracy to commit a crime, and vandalism.
Hope you like prison food and penis.
This had to be in California.
Where's Placer County? I gotta look that up. I don't know. I'll Google it later.
Arizona.
And then last but not least, this is my favorite place to go to.
Where?
DC. I love DC. I love DC. As somebody who's a big fan of history, DC is just one of the best places to go. And let me say this, and I love Detroit, my hometown. But whoever said we got the best river walk in the country is full of shit. There is no fucking way. There is no way.
I wasn't expecting that one today.
That is, but I read that. I saw that headline. I'm like, no fucking, unless Detroit was the only Riverwalk they went to.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what part of the Riverwalk were they talking about.
It don't matter. There is not one section of our Riverwalk that beats DC's Wharf. Not one.
I feel like it don't beat Chicago's.
It definitely doesn't beat Chicago's. It doesn't beat San Antonio's. It doesn't beat San Francisco's, as bad as the crime is there. Like, I can think of plenty of Riverwalks that kill ours, right? Because our Riverwalk is just that, a Riverwalk.
There's nothing there.
They got like stores and restaurants and all types of nice shit. I love DC's Wharf. I love their shit. They got two of them, as a matter of fact. I think they got two wharfs.
I just like I like the food in DC.
I love DC, and then the museums. I love museums. DC
got some nice people too.
Yeah, and that's not so nice that they made this. So
well,
I hate the fact that I got to do this, but Washington D.C. police warn against wearing nice sneakers in D.C. So I got this.
You got to wear your Chuck Taylors out there.
Yep. Go find me some Chucks. An article written by Randy Bass for DC News Now. Police in DC issued a community warning advising citizens of the dangers of wearing designer goods while out and about in the district. Officers say robberies and thefts of some expensive items, specifically designer sneakers, are on the rise. I can't talk today. Are on the rise and have targeted children and teenagers in several cases.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
The MPD, Metropolitan Police Department, called out a few designer brands in the warning, including Balenciaga.
I knew you was gonna say that.
Louis Vuitton. I don't know why.
That one too.
Why are we making Balenciaga cool? Like, I swear to God, like, I have not seen a cool looking Balenciaga sneaker.
I haven't seen anything from them overall that looks cool.
No, that's
like nothing.
All their shit is ugly, and I don't get
There was a post that I seen on Instagram where they basically said it's like some homeless guy
was wearing a pair.
No, who helps inspire some of their fashion.
This is the story of how two of the most popular fashion brands ripped their designs from a homeless man. Ooh, let me explain. So once upon a time, there was this man named Slavik. Slavik was homeless and lived in Ukraine, and locally he was known for being the most fashionable homeless man you've ever seen. He was 55 years old, and regardless of being homeless, never wore the same fit twice. He would sometimes even change outfits twice in one day. After locals recognized this, there was a cameraman named Yurko. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. And Yurko began taking pictures of him every single day to spread his story. He even created Slavik's social media accounts. And from 2011 to 2013, there was over 100 photographs taken of him. He soon began to grow in popularity, and this even got him recognized by Vogue. And after this, Balenciaga and Vetements began ripping off his style. As this grungy look became a little bit more popular, Balenciaga and Vetements went back to these photographs and actually made replica clothing of his style. And they never gave him credit. And I think it's pretty clear in some of these photos that it was obvious. And in early 2013, Slavik disappeared from the streets, and nobody ever heard of him again. And still to this day, over 10 years later, he's growing in popularity even though nobody's heard of him in 10 years. And these companies are still jacking his style.
Hey, when I saw that, I was like, okay, maybe this is a joke.
I swear, I'm about to move to another planet and start over.
But when they showed like the things that he would wear, and then they would show some of the stuff from like their runway, like fashion shows, it looked just like it was the same exact setup.
I'm moving. I'm pick a planet. I'm moving there, and I'm starting over, bro. Like, that is so stupid. But I hate when people buy stuff based off a name, because I try not to. I watch these shows sometimes just for the entertainment value. Those pop the balloon ones.
You really watch those?
Sometimes, because sometimes it just comes.
You be bored at work,
yeah,
don't you? Yeah, I figured that's
and sometimes
you
it pops
that.
up, and it's so stupid. But there was this one guy, he had on like some type of designer glasses, and the girl popped his balloon, and you know they got to do the whole like, why'd you pop the balloon, blah blah blah. And she didn't like his outfit, and he was like, "Oh, but this is whatever," and it was just like,
I mean, he's Dolce Gabbana.
But nobody give a flying fuck. He's Dolce Gabbana. Dolce and Gabbana more important than you see in my eyes. How the fuck is Dolce and Gabbana more important than your eyes? You came on this show for dating and you getting rejected because you wearing glasses. Them bitches would have flew off my head the second. It's because of the glasses. Them bitches would have been across the stage, talking about Dolce and Gabbana. Now you gonna be lonely in Gabbana. I don't know what the fuck. I ain't have a punchline for that. But he ain't gonna have nobody. He gonna be back alone talking about some damn Dolce and Gabbana.
But they look really nice.
He looking at us. We don't give a fuck. I'm sick and tired of people.
Yes. Like I stated, he didn't say a word, so I can only go based off of what I see. I did not like the glasses.
I feel you.
So
I mean, he's Dolce Gabbana.
But they look
He's Dolce
really
Gabbana.
nice.
Don't look at us with that. He Dolce Gabbana. Take them dumbass shits off and chuck them. That's the second girl that rejected you because you want to be wearing some glasses indoors. And then you going to tell us they Dolce. Now you going to be lonely talking about some goddamn they Dolce and Gabbana. They ain't more important than you finding a wife, you freaky dog.
You feel me? That ain't 14 karat gold either. But not mine.
Look at her face. You're a materialistic fool. Nobody care. You the only one laughing. I hate this guy. Somebody get him off the goddamn show.
What the name of the brand is supposed to make me like them now? Like,
yes,
they look horrible. They look stupid.
I mean, we say that.
Why does the name of the brand matter when they look stupid?
Yeah, but we've always said the people that can't dress and have no style, that's their
That's what
sense
they
of
hang
style.
their hat on?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Well, he'll be the guy to get robbed then. So anyway, the brands included Balenciaga, Louis Vuitton, Dior, Amiri, and Lavin, saying that those brands are top targets for thieves or pilferers.
So there are some Lavin sneakers are pretty nice though.
I haven't seen. Honestly, I didn't even heard of the
They're
brand.
subtle.
Is it like Brooks Brothers almost?
No. Think of Lavin almost like not had it in my mind. Damn it, I can't think of the brand now. Oh well.
No matter. Recently, police say 3 students were threatened and robbed at gunpoint for the brand name Balenciaga and Jordan sneakers. The thieves got away with more than $1,500 worth of shoes. MPD 6th District Commander Jerron Hickman said they're increasing patrols in areas where they're seeing those thefts and other violent crimes, making arrests in some cases. Now, where's the 6th District at?
We ain't in DC.
I know. I'm just trying to like imagine in my head, like, where's that at?
It's next to the 5th District. It's in between the 5th and the 7th District.
Ass.
Like,
Right.
I don't know.
Between the 5th and the 7th.
Yeah,
I don't know.
like, that's where it's at.
I could have location wise on the map, like where is that at? Is that like downtown? Is that uptown? Is that midtown? Like what?
Aren't most of the streets named after states? Maybe it's somewhere on like North Dakota Avenue or something.
Where the fuck you said that like I know where North Dakota Avenue is. Like what? Just naming streets now.
I don't even know if that's a street.
Jesus. Police also issued the following tips to help keep people safe. 1. You're already laughing. I ain't even said it yet.
What kind of tips can you
stay indoors? But no. Move.
Man.
Number 1, stay aware of your surroundings. Man.
I just want to know when did common sense not become common?
Stating the obvious. 2, walk in groups. 3, avoid displaying high value items. So if you somebody that likes to floss, I guess you're gonna have to.
What's been going on in DC for the past couple of years where it, just being a regular person walking up and down the street clearly is something a lot more high end than it is anywhere else.
I don't know. It's crazy. Once again, I would like to know the type of area that the 6th District occupies. Like, because I know, like, like Chicago, like the South Side, right?
Yeah.
Like Detroit, probably, I don't know, East Side, West Side.
Whole city.
Yeah, I was going to say. Just stay downtown. Like, the safe bet, stay downtown.
Even there.
Yeah.
See,
but
I don't know.
Midtown or downtown is.
I mean, I'm not gonna say it's not unsafe, but I just feel like. But again, I'm just thinking like common sense. I'm like, yeah, if I'm walking around any city,
especially a city, they live there. Because anytime I go out of town, my head is on a swivel. Because I just
when I'm downtown, my head is on a swivel.
Because yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
so walking groups. 3, avoid. 4, use main roads and well lit paths. So don't walk down dark alleyways.
So basically, don't be in a horror movie.
Yeah, basically, don't cut through abandoned houses. Stay on main roads.
Don't go in the alley in nighttime.
No dirt roads. They never lead to anything good.
Do they even have those in DC?
That's a good question. I don't think so.
I feel like
the only streets they have are cobblestone.
Yeah, I feel like everything is so developed.
Well, I say that though because I know a lot of nice areas that still have the dirt roads, and that's only because they don't want nobody flying through their street.
Well, but I guess like when I'm thinking DC, I'm thinking like the actual DC.
Yeah,
pretty sure when you
like
get
Maryland
further, like
and,
Maryland, Virginia, like
Baltimore,
especially Virginia, there's probably a lot of dirt roads
probably
out there.
5, be cautious on social media. That doesn't get talked about enough. I feel like,
but again, to me, that's common sense.
Is it though?
It should be.
Because I feel like a lot of people be flossing. I mean, I guess I post every shoe I get too, but nobody knows where I live though. So,
That's
think.
true.
So-
I mean, it's not like people can't find out, but
that is true.
I mean, yeah, I guess like because you always see it feels like every couple weeks, and especially here, there's always a news story of somebody got robbed, and then they found somebody because they were posting on Instagram about either
about the crime they
items,
committed?
either the items they have or the crime,
That's
the
dumb.
crime they committed.
That part
but
is
that's
dumb.
what I'm saying. Be aware of what you're doing on social media, right? Like that should be a part of it.
Yeah.
No, it's not an avalanche.
Man, I don't know. We're about to get snowed in. Number 6.
Oh shit, there's more.
I know, man. 6, keep valuables secured. And then we got alcoholics just over the door. Is it warm in here or not? And then 7, report suspicious activity. I feel like this is all like Sesame Street material. It's like you said, it's the obvious. It's like
I said, I just want to know what's going on in DC.
I don't know. It makes me sad though because I really love DC. And like if I can go to DC every year, I will. Like this is one of my favorite places to go. The food is great.
I told you, I like just the food and the people for me.
You know where I'm going back in August, by the way? Speaking of food.
You going to London?
Nope. Portland.
Why?
1, because Aaron Cooper has a thing going on out there. So I'm going out there to catch up with him. And then 2, maybe interesting too, because I think Brendan did.
Oh, your homeboy.
Okay. Yeah, when we were there, everybody was just talking about how good the food is in Portland. And I kind of believe it.
Yeah, seafood wise, I could see it. But I feel like nothing else.
We went to that one district, everything looked good and everything smelled good.
We from out of town. It don't take much to impress us, right?
No, bullshit.
You go to another state, another city.
I ain't been impressed by anything in Ohio.
That don't count. To me, that's not even a real place.
It really isn't. Honestly, if it was up to me, we would be the 49 states of America.
I was going to say, what do they always say about Ohio? You drive through it. You don't just go there.
Yeah, nobody vacations to Ohio.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Kalahari's there, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's it. I went to Great Wolf. Can I tell this story? How much time we got left? 5 minutes? Okay, real quick. So, call it what you want to. Call it bougie. Call it what you want to.
Oh, it's going to be bougie.
I went to this was an ex-girlfriend of mine.
Oh, shit.
She wanted to go.
I'm worried about where this story going.
She wanted to go out of town just to go somewhere. So her family decided to go to Great Wolf's Lodge. Mind you, I've never been there before. Heard of it, never been there. So I said, okay, cool. Just to go somewhere for the weekend. We go down there. Now, when I go out of town, I am very particular about where I go. I'm very particular about where I'm staying and where I'm going, right? So I'm already not too thrilled about going to Ohio, but, it's whatever, right? Man, we get down there, and I can already tell, like...
It's not for you.
Not at all. Like, we get down there, and we walk into the building, and it smelled like chlorine and food stamps.
What is that? It smells like a turd covered in burnt hair.
Smells like Bigfoot's dick.
Oh. And I was just like, dog, like, what?
Wait, time out. It smelled like chlorine and food stamps.
Yes. Like, it smelled like the most unclean Walmart you've ever been to. And I was just like, what the fuck, bro? Like, and honestly, everything in there was dated as fuck, right? Because it was just like, they ain't changed shit since 1992. And I'm already annoyed because, like I said, I'm already like in my mind, like no, I would never come here. And so the room wasn't ready yet, so everybody wants to go into the pool. I've never seen a pool so full of people in my life. It's like shoulder to shoulder people, just like gross. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just like, I could just already imagine the hygiene of some people in there, and I'm just like, it's humid as fuck in there, and they got this seating area, and everybody's taking up chairs even though nobody's sitting in them. So now I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to sit? So finally I find a chair, I sit down. And I'm just annoyed, so I'm just keeping to myself. I had no intention of getting in that pool. Matter of fact, just to give you an idea, as soon as we walked in, they had like a little kids pool, and they had to shut it down because some little kid dropped a deuce. And so
Oh God.
They put these signs, and it was so funny though, because like they put like 1 or 2 signs up as if that was going to stop. Like depending on the direction you came in, you wouldn't have seen those signs. So like there's kids just ready to launch themselves in this pool, and like a couple of them got in there.
No,
and I know this. Just doo-doo water.
Yeah,
so I'm just like
getting shit faced for real.
And you know, honestly, I could have stopped on myself and said, "Hey, no," but it was too funny watching them jump in. So they go in there and whatever. So eventually, my daughter invited her friend. So her friend comes, and they're hungry or whatever. So I take them upstairs. They don't take cash.
Huh?
Yeah, they don't take cash. So it's like, you don't take government currency. Like, what the fuck? So you had to use your card and everything. Okay, cool. So we finally get a chance to go to the room. When I tell you I walked into this room and I was so pissed, they had. Now I've been to Dollywood, and they got the rooms where it's like they got the bunk beds. Yeah. Beautiful room. I had no problem staying there. This was like 10 steps down, where they had the bunk beds, but it looked like prison bunk beds. And then they like, my daughter and her friend were supposed to sleep on the sofa bed. This sofa looked like it came from Roseanne's house, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? Mind you, here's the thing about my daughter. I'm not gonna have my daughter sleep somewhere I would not sleep.
Right.
So now I'm mad, right? And so I sat down, and when I get mad, I get quiet. My daughter, because her friend was like, "Why is your dad so quiet?" She was like, "He's pissed right now." And so, and she was telling her like he would never. She's like, if he knew this place, he would never have come here. So now I go downstairs, so now I got to come out $400 to get them a room because I'm not gonna have them sleep on this bullshit ass couch. And yeah, so long story short, I would never go to Ohio. And like people keep talking about Kalahari and shit. After going to Great Wolf's Lodge, everybody's always better. I'm good.
You know what Kalahari?
What's that mean?
It's a Swahili term for it costs what?
There you go. That makes sense. Because here's my thing though. Here's my thing, and I got a rule. The reason I haven't been to Vegas, the reason I haven't been to Kalahari or those places is for one reason. Every broke friend I know, when they get a little bit of money, tax returns or whatever, that's immediately where they go.
Oh, you like
and it
Vegas?
Turns me off. I've yet to go because of that reason. I'm like,
no,
y'all
like
going to Vegas? Oh, good.
No, you like me and my wife went there for the first time last year.
Yeah,
I cannot wait to go back. Like I had fun, and we really didn't even get a chance to do much, but it was just being there and just walking around, seeing everything. The couple things you do get to do, like some of the shows you go to, some of the restaurants, like I enjoyed it. Like, trust me, you'd like Vegas. But you got to go with the right person, though.
We'll see.
And you can't stay in no bullshit hotel.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, anyway, while we figure that out, this is what, episode 329?
I thought it was 360 something.
Well, we'll figure it out. We'll see y'all next week. We out.